Ready.
Welcome, everyone. We'll give you a couple seconds to join us. Happy Thursday night. We're so happy you're here today. My name is Mary Alice Berg, and I am your facilitator tonight. So I am going to give a very brief kind of introduction, and then I will turn it over to our presenter. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for Illinois Students, sponsored by the Illinois Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. My name is Mary Alice Berg, and I will be your facilitator for the Dayton session tonight. Thank you for joining us. A couple housekeeping items that you can kind of read up on the slide. My audience members can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to our presenter at any time. I would advise you not to save all your questions for the end, because sometimes we get to the end and we're waiting for you to type questions. So go ahead and keep them coming during the presentation. Your camera and microphones in the audience are totally off. So the panelists, we cannot see or hear you during this session. Your only way to communicate with us is through that Q&A button. And tonight was one of many sessions that were offered by IACAC over the last few weeks. So you can check out the full schedule of events that occurred and watch recordings for a lot of those sessions on the website, which is IACAC.org. And then this presentation that we're all gonna learn through tonight will also be posted in about a week at the exact same website, IACAC.org. So I am going to turn it over to my presenter. Enjoy, everyone. Have a great session.
Okay. I'm trying to share my screen, so hang tight for me. All these fancy buttons. Good evening. Thank you so much for being here. I know it's probably been a long day of Zoom and in person and who knows what else. So I'm so grateful for you all taking the time out of your evening to learn about the University of Dayton. My name is Erin Sarouche. I'm the Regional Enrollment Manager for the University of Dayton. I'm actually based here in the Chicago area. I've been based here with Dayton for about 2.5 years, but I've been a regional enrollment manager in higher education for, gosh, 12 years, which is just wild. So I'm really thrilled to share with you about the University of Dayton tonight. I have a few slides, but I please encourage you to use the Q&A button. I will do my best to get to all of them. If not, my information will be shared as well, so we'll make sure to connect another time. So without further ado, we are the University of Dayton. We are located in Dayton, Ohio, and Southwest Ohio. We are a Catholic Marianist university. And I think it's important for us to start out with, what does that mean? What does it mean to be a Marianist university? Well, my friend Mary Alice works at Loyola University in Chicago, so they're the good Jesuits. And we Marianists are not too dissimilar. Probably the biggest difference between the two of us is we are part of the Society of Mary, while the Jesuits are part of the Society of Jesus. But when you come to the University of Dayton, things you're gonna hear a lot: faith, service, and community. These three things are what the University of Dayton is about. As a Catholic Marianist university, we educate for service, justice, and peace. It's a part of our mission. It's who we are. It's what we do. As I mentioned, we're founded by the Society of Mary in 1850. So since our founding, the Marianists have really created a welcoming and inclusive campus where every person, no matter your faith, so there is no requirement of faith on our campus, is treated with respect and openness. So roughly 50% of our campus reports to be Catholic, so we do have students of all faith backgrounds on our campus. Our educational philosophy is very similar to the Jesuits and something you've probably heard before. We educate the whole person: mind, body, heart, and spirit. And it's truly not just something we say, it's truly something we do. Our students believe it, our faculty believe it, and our staff believe it. The Marianists believe that education can transform a society if we work together. And certainly in these days and times, that is a message we want heard loud and clear. Something that Marianists also believe very strongly in are learning living communities, where students are called to live, learn, and work in community. So you've heard me mention the word community many times in the short time that we've now been together. That's something that is really synonymous with the University of Dayton, a strong, engaged community, whether the community is in your residence hall, in your house in the student neighborhood, in your classroom, or on the quad. The community is very strong. So a little more specific information. We are a campus of about 8,000 undergrads. Total population with our graduate students is just over 11,000. So we are a mid-sized school, a really nice size. You don't see that 8,000 number too often at the undergrad level. It truly is medium, not too big, not too small. But we have the resources of a large school, as we'll get to shortly. Though we're medium sized, we do have smaller class sizes. They average about 27 with a 14:1 student teacher ratio. So full-time faculty are very much a part of our campus experience. About 99% of our classes are taught by full-time faculty. They're in class time, they're in office hours, they're at events on campus, they're eating in the dining halls. So students, you're going to know your faculty members very well. They won't just be resources for you academically, but they can also be resources for you for internships and information and connections for life after graduation. So know that they are very much a part of our community. We're really proud of our retention rate. Our students are happy, they come back happy. In normal times, who knows what's going on right now, right, in this world, but in normal times, our retention rate is just over 90%. So students are coming back and they're very happy to be a part of our community. So the things we like to point out, particularly for our out-of-state students, is that just over half of our student body is from out of state. I believe that number is now actually 53% with this year's class. So we're really proud of that. Just over 40 states represented in nearly 60 countries. So it is a very geographically diverse campus. The greater Chicagoland area is our largest market outside of Ohio. So while we do have a strong representation from Ohio, certainly the greater Chicagoland area is very well represented. Students, you will definitely see and run into familiar faces, people from your neighborhood, your high school, your church, and so on. But as a regional, that is part of my role. This is such a big market for us. They want, feet on the ground here. So, important thing to know. So we do offer about 80 major programs in 4 schools: the College of Arts and Sciences, School of Business, School of Education and Health Sciences, and the School of Engineering. All our programs are direct admit, so you can indicate on your admission application what program you want to be reviewed for, and we will review your application for that program. Probably most well known for our programs in engineering, business, and the health sciences. For students that are undecided or have multiple interests and aren't quite ready to make that indication on their application, we do have our Discover program. This is our undecided program. Discover Arts is our most general undecided program in the College of Arts and Sciences. It is equivalent to a liberal arts undecided program. If you do enter Discover Arts, know that you'll have the opportunity to take coursework from across all 4 schools. You'll work with an advisor who will make sure that you're taking a variety of coursework, thinking about what's working, what isn't working, and ultimately what you want to do after graduation. And then the idea is hopefully by your 2nd year that you're ready to apply into a more specific program. So nobody graduates in the Discover program. You're going to eventually move into a specific program. About 1/3 of our students do enter through the Discover program, so it's very common, and students are still graduating in 4 years. So I personally think it's a great way to enter Dayton if you are at all uncertain or have multiple interests. Similarly, if you're leaning business or education or engineering, we do have a Discover program in each school. It works very similarly. You're just a little more focused in, say, business and exploring the different business programs, and you'd have a business advisor. So there's definitely options. Please don't be intimidated by the direct admit option. So there's a lot of different opportunities for students at the University of Dayton, certainly academically, but a lot of things that will happen outside the classroom that really complement your academic experience. Certainly study abroad is a huge piece and a very popular option for students. Certainly right now we're a little more limited with travel restrictions and things, but many of our students are traveling abroad in normal times and can really go almost anywhere. We've had students really travel nearly all over the world in a variety of ways. Our global ed department does provide a variety of opportunities for students. Different major programs provide opportunities. Summer programs are particularly popular for University of Dayton students, where you spend 6 to 8 weeks during the summer someplace taking a couple of courses, and you're still able to come back for the traditional academic year at UD. We do have some opportunities for cross-cultural experiences. Some very popular ones in particular would be you take a semester-long class at the University of Dayton. One that's very popular right now is called the History of Spain. So you're actually at Dayton for the semester taking courses, one of which is the History of Spain. And then your final 2 weeks of the semester, you actually travel to Spain with your class and your professor, and you see the places that you've been learning about. So it's a little different setup, but can be a really valuable experience for students. Similarly, the immersion service experiences where you're traveling to different parts of the world to do service opportunities through our campus ministry department are numerous, and many opportunities to do that, like over spring break and summer break as well. Ethos is a really cool program for our engineering students, which combines study abroad and service learning. So it allows our engineering students to use their skills for humanitarian purposes. So you may go into a country that doesn't have great water filtration system, and as an engineering student, which I was not and am not, can go in and help that country or community figure out how to make it work for them. So you're really going in and you're making a strong impact on that community, but you're also using what you're learning in the classroom. Another area department that's really important and popular with our students is the Fit Center for Leadership. They offer a broad range of opportunities for students to get engaged in a variety of different leadership opportunities, service, civic engagement, opportunities to get involved in the city of Dayton with different opportunities. There's a really strong program right now called U Dayton Votes. So getting people registered to vote, whether they're students on campus who are residents of the Dayton area, faculty, staff, community members, things like that. There's another really cool program called the River Stewards. So we are not far, actually just off campus is the Great Miami River. And so the River Stewards are students who actually work in the watersheds, thinking about environmental needs of the river and ways to help the river be cleaner and better used. So some really cool ways to engage in the community. Certainly campus ministry is a huge part of our campus. We do have one of the largest campus ministry departments on a college campus. They do offer a variety of retreat opportunities for students, both faith-based and not. And as I mentioned at the beginning, they are providing opportunities for students of all faith backgrounds. So not exclusively Catholicism or Christianity. If you're a student of a different faith background and you're trying to find a way to practice your faith, they're going to help you do that if we don't have a group on campus. So know that you're welcome and included on our campus. There is a religion requirement as far as coursework goes, but you can take nearly any religion, study almost any religion that is out there, world religions, ethics, philosophy, things like that. We do have a broad range of internship and co-op opportunities for students. Co-ops are typically for engineering students where you pause your academic work for a semester and you're working full time, typically getting paid, which does make it very different than an internship in some cases. And then our career services department is really great to connect with for internship opportunities. There's also career services staff in each school and college. So School of Business has their own career center people, School of Engineering has their own, and so on. So a lot of great ways to make those connections early on. So college is, of course, a lot about academics and learning, but there's a lot of fun to be had too. And students at the University of Dayton have a lot of fun. 85% of our student body is living on campus. So we're a very residential community, as I mentioned in the beginning. The university does own nearly 400 houses in our student neighborhoods. So as a junior and senior, you have the option to live in one of those houses. And you live with 3, 4, 5 of your friends in the same house next door across the street. but you're right on campus. So you're close to classes, you're close to extracurricular events, you're close to sporting events. It makes for a really great and unique experience. And you're paying the university to live there. So you don't have to deal with landlords and paying utilities and sort of all that business. That will certainly come with time. So if you haven't been to our campus yet, haven't had a chance to see the student neighborhoods, I hope that you will soon. We have nearly 300 clubs and organizations, academic clubs, service clubs, social clubs, a wide array of opportunities to get involved. We do offer, about 17 Division I varsity sports, basketball being one of the most popular, or probably what we're most well known for. An unfortunate shortened season last year when we had great anticipation for the March Madness tournament. We offer about 30 club sports that are competitive. So they do compete against other colleges' club teams. So they will travel and compete. And then a huge intramurals program. As you can see there, about 50% of our students do play intramurals and club sports. So a great way to get involved and connect. All kinds of activities available through intramurals, from basketball, volleyball, and soccer to yard games and card games. So really all levels of athletic ability welcome, or not. We do have Greek life as well. About 20% of the student body is involved in Greek life. So it's not the only way to connect socially, but can be a great way for those who are interested. I really like to think of Greek life as just one piece of our extracurricular puzzle. There's a lot of different things to do and get involved with. And certainly anyone involved in Greek life is also doing a variety of other things as well. So lots of different things to do and engage with on our campus. So this is a really special slide for Chicago students. This is a sort of a short list of companies and organizations in the Chicago area where our graduates have gone on to work. So can see some pretty well-known names there on that list. And again, this is just a short list of places. We're pretty proud of what we call our success rate, which is 97%. So within 6 months of graduation, 97% of our graduates are employed full-time, doing a year of service or in the military or in graduate school. So we do survey our graduates within 6 months of graduation, and we get about an 80% response rate, which is pretty unusual for a survey. They're really excited and happy to share with us what they're doing. And we're really happy to see it and certainly report about it. We do have a really strong Chicago alumni group here that's really engaged with our students and new graduates to help them. About 3 years ago, they started a college fair here in the Chicago area. It typically happens in early January, just before the students go back to campus after the holidays. So there have been between 30 and 40 companies and organizations present at this job fair, and it's typically juniors and seniors and recent graduates who attend to learn about internship opportunities, full-time employment, and it's here in Chicago. So it's a really great opportunity to network and make those connections back home if you're interested in coming back home, of course. So, yes. So, some of the business, right? So University of Dayton is pretty unique in that we freeze our net tuition over 4 years. So while you're a student at the University of Dayton, you will not see a tuition increase on your bill. So there will be no surprise increase in tuition in your sophomore or junior year. So when you get your financial aid offer in your senior year, you're going to see all 4 years of tuition laid out for you. This really allows families to be able to better plan and think about, how are we going to make all 4 years work, not just 1 year? It's allowed our loan rate to go down. It's allowed our graduation rate to go up. So all things that we're really proud of, and this plan has really made that happen for us. We have no fees, so no lab fees, no orientation fees, no graduation fees. Those fees can really add up over 4 years' time, particularly if you're a science or engineering major and are spending a lot of time in lab spaces. You're not going to see those fees piling up over the 4 years. Another piece that's really cool is we do offer a textbook scholarship. It is $4,000, so $500 a semester for textbooks. There are two things you need to do in order to qualify for the textbook scholarship. One you're doing right now. You've registered for this session. We're going to get the list of names and we're going to load them in our system. By connecting with us virtually, and like registering, giving us your information, that checks that first virtual box. If you've done a campus visit, if I've visited your high school even virtually, those kind of things qualify as long as you've shared your name and said, I'm here. If you plan to visit campus or do one of our virtual open houses, those will still qualify for it. The second piece is completing the FAFSA, which is the free financial aid form provided by the government at fafsa.gov. So if you're a senior, then you know, hopefully, that the FAFSA became available at the beginning of this month, and that's how you're awarded need-based financial aid. If you do the FAFSA and send it to Dayton, that will check that second virtual box, and you will automatically receive the textbook scholarship. It will appear on your financial aid offer around February of your senior year. So a really great opportunity. Our financial aid offers tend to look a little different than most schools because we do lay out all 4 years. We give you that 4-year outlook for tuition. So it gives a better sense of things, we think anyway. But if you get it, if you're, thinking about Dayton and you go all in and you do the financial aid offer and you have questions, we're happy to sit down and walk through it with you. Trying to keep an eye on questions too in case they pop up. So a few timeline things and important information to know, particularly if you're a senior right now. So we are on, for application purposes, we have our own Dayton application, we're on the Common application, and we're on the Coalition application. We really have no preference for how you apply. It's free to apply regardless of which application you use. So if you're already doing the Common application, my recommendation is just to add us to the Common app. Don't make more work for yourself than you have to. So we are a November 1 early action deadline school, and it's hard to believe, but November 1 is just over a week away. So if you can get us a complete application by then, you'll have your decision by late November. So what does a complete application mean right now? So that means the application with essay, so one of the 3 applications listed here, as well as the official transcript from your high school. We are test optional for this fall, as many schools have done. What does that mean for us? Because I know there's different, it looks a little different for every school. So a couple different scenarios. If you have been unable to take any test, that's okay. You can apply to any program at the University of Dayton test optional. There are no restrictions on the program. So it's okay to just send in your application without test scores. You will still be reviewed for merit scholarship money. So there's no penalty for not sending test scores. If you were only able to take a test in your junior year and you're not happy with the score, that's okay. Don't feel like you have to send it. We think that it's best if you have scores that you feel like enhance your application, send those scores. If you don't feel like they enhance your application, it's okay not to send them. If you've been able to take multiple tests and you want to send the scores, great. Send us the scores. We need the official scores from ACT or College Board. If your counselors have score reports, we can take those. We can also take the scores off your official transcript if they're on there. We are still super scoring as well. So if you've been able to take multiple tests and you want to send us all your scores, we'll make your highest composite. So several options. If you go to our website and type test optional into the search bar, you'll find the full rundown of the plan for test optional. You're welcome to go there and check it out more. I'm happy to answer questions more specifically. So again, November 1, early action, application, official transcript. We do not require letters of recommendation either. So you do not have to send them. You can, but you don't have to. So again, if you have the full application in by November 1, you'll have a decision by late November. Merit scholarships are coming out about a month later in December. So I did mention that merit scholarships, we will, regardless of whether you send test scores or not, you will still be reviewed for those. If you do not send test scores, we'll be looking at GPA and academic rigor. So we'll be taking a deeper dive into your transcript, which is part of the reason why we have that sort of month delay in getting you the scholarship information. We want to make sure that we're awarding accurately and fairly. So know that we're taking all of that into consideration when we review for aid or for scholarship aid. If you complete the FAFSA early, so right now, you will typically get a full financial aid offer. This says January. I would say it's probably more likely late January, early February, that you'll get that full financial aid offer with both need-based aid and merit aid listed. And then February 1 is our regular decision deadline. So if you miss the November 1, that's fine. February 1 will quickly approach. And then, of course, financial aid conversations can be had. And then May 1 is typically the enrollment deadline. We're a long way from May, so it's hard to know what things are going to look like then. Last year, we did move things around. We're trying to be flexible and work with families as best we can, as we know this is a pretty stressful time for everybody. So know that we are keeping all of that in mind as we go through this. So that is sort of Dayton in a nutshell. My name again is Erin Sarush. I am assigned to Illinois. So if you have questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out. My email and direct phone line are there. Our website address to apply. And then again, I mentioned we're open for visitors. So we have really had to limit the number of visitors that we can have on campus right now because of the pandemic. So if you go to our visit site and you don't see any dates available for October or November, that does mean that we're full. I would encourage you to keep checking back the calendar, because as soon as we get a cancellation, we do update the calendar. So if you're trying to get to campus, that's probably your best bet right now. We are hoping to open December dates soon. Sort of our biggest challenge right now with December is that our students are not going to be returning to campus after Thanksgiving, which includes our tour guides. So we're trying to figure out who's a little more local that might be willing to come and give tours. So, bear with us for December for the moment. And then certainly as we move forward through this year, we'll hopefully be able to open up months in the future for visits. We do have a virtual open house coming up on November 1st, so just over a week away. We have other events and things happening that you can find listed on our website as well. And I would encourage you to check those out if you can or are interested. Are there any questions that I can address? Programs that you want to know more about? Okay. Well, I'm so grateful for your time this evening. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions in the future. And thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Erin. That you will receive a short survey when you leave. And remember that you can see this presentation in about a week at IACAC.org, and you can also see a number of other presentations there as well. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, everyone. Teamwork.
I never know if they're like, do they really care?
I know, it's so hard to tell. You did great.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good one. Hang in there.
You too. Bye.
Bye.